Hi guys, it's MacLeod and welcome to another patch video. This is for Project Cars 6.0. The guys have been working frantically hard and once again they've brought a ton of new features as well as fixed a lot of bugs. And I'm going to run through these release notes right after this. So here we are guys. Project Cars 6.0. Wow, have these boys been working hard. Once again, they've brought us a ton of bug fixes and not only that, a ton of new features. I'm going to break this down into sections as there's quite a lot to get through, and I'm going to start with online. New feature, the host kick function. The host of an online game can now select to immediately kick a player from a server. Kick players will be auto-kicked if they attempt to rejoin the same multiplayer session. This is also new, mandatory pit stop options. The lobby admin can opt to force a single pit stop during any race. New, option to set the race length by time. This is also new, allow ghosted vehicles. This option has been added so that the lobby admin can actually decide if he wants vehicles ghosted or not when they drive in the wrong direction. New dynamic race end timer feature. In public races, the timer is set to 50% of the slowest moving car's lap time. In private races, that time is going to be set to 75% of the slowest moving car's lap time. Fixed an exploit where the player could be awarded a win by jumping the start, tisk tisk. Fixed an issue where if the host is forcing realistic driving assist, the player wasn't able to toggle the allowed assist on or off while in a race. They fixed an issue where if force default setup is used, the pit crew would not change tyres until they are completely worn. The tyres will now be changed when at least one of the tyre is worn down by more than 25%. They've also improved voice over IP quality for the in-game chat system. Okay guys, so moving on now to a career. There's a bunch of fixes in here. They fixed a bug where drivers in a simulated series can all end up with an invalid name. They fixed a bug where AI components would attempt to use DLC cars that are not actually installed. The player will no longer be offered contract renewals for DLC contracts if they've since uninstalled that download content. DLC career contract emails earned while a DLC was installed are no longer shown if DLC is then uninstalled. If the player's current contract is a DLC contract and the player uninstalls this DLC, the career season using the DLC contract will finish for the player when entering the dashboard, and they will have to pick from a valid contract offers to continue. Fixed an issue where the modified cars pack or limited edition DLC invitationals and accolades were visible for players who do not actually own these download content packs. Entering these invitational events would cause the player and the AI to be in non-matching vehicles. They fixed an issue also where at times the pit crew wouldn't change the tyre set to one of the selected in-pit strategies. Controls. Moving on with the controls, they fixed an issue where remapping curves would stop it working altogether. They also fixed an issue where changes were made to the gamepad advanced options not actually being saved. And they've also added support for the T150 Thrustmaster. Okay, from here we're going to move on to tracks. Zolder, they fixed a potential landmine issue. Now, I can tell you personally, I hit that landmine issue with a line that I take quite regularly, so I'm very happy about that. Le Mans adjusted the 55th garage spot to correct an issue where the cars would hit the pit wall and exiting the spot. Donington, all layouts fixed an issue where cars would make contact with the left side of the wall when exiting some garages. Road America, pre-race camera tweaked to prevent the camera from clipping with the ground. Raupuna Park, all layouts fixed an issue with the last garage spot being outside the garage area. And Mojave, all layouts fixed an issue with the floating tyre skid marks, fixed an issue with rain being visible inside tunnels, and they fixed visible barriers in areas where the player could not be allowed to drive. Moving on to vehicles, the Bentley Continental GT3, they fixed the DLC livery windscreen banners for the RUF CTR3 SMS R, increased default tyre pressure to work better with tyre warmers, and for the Toyota GT86 Rocket Bunny, they fixed an issue with the windscreen banner. Okay guys, so now moving on to the physics and AI. AI, starting with that. Improved awareness and look ahead to help with situations of multi-class races where AI in the fast car would fail to avoid the player of AI in much slower cars. Tyres have been updated. The fixed an issue on several tyres to prevent the FFB buzz when tread becomes worn or very thin. Recalibrated most tyres for a carcass heating fix when the tyres are underinflated. Adjusted wear rates on the GT3, the Group C, the Trans Am GTO, DTM and LMP rubber. Implemented support to remove detached wheels from the track after a certain amount of time. Next up is the GUI and HUD vehicle selection. Manufacturer page now orders icons alphabetically. Improved the French translations for some of the items in the vehicle setup screens. Minor updates to career dashboard. Motorsports and DN profile buttons are now tiles consistent with the other tabs. Inbox is now full screen with a clearer indication of highlighted mail, and an initial accept contract offer screen has now been improved layout and is clearer indication of the signature button. Improved race central screen, better balanced backing image, removed gradient in top right corner. Track layout map images are now displayed on the quick track section screens. Fixed an issue where the invert camera y-axis text was being displayed as automatic clutch. And then finally for this entire bug release and patch is general. They fixed an issue during pit stops where the pit crew mistakes ratio was too high. The driver name tag above cars can now be turned on for the replays. Entering the pits during a time trial will now invalidate that lapse time. Improved helmet view exposure for historic drivers and general game stability improvements. Now if you want to see all these release notes, please head on over to either directly their site or go to my site unleashcode.blogspot.co.uk, and I've got them all printed up there, and I will also be attaching my video there as well if you want to watch it again. So thanks for watching guys, that is one hell of a patch. I'm going to load up Project Cars right now and set up my GT3 Aston Martin. Okay guys, I shall catch you later. Take care. Bye bye.